Hi everyone, you're welcome to another interesting pattern drafting tutorial. I am Dimma, and on today's tutorial I'll be sharing with you how to cut this trendy halter neck circle dress that you can see on the screen. This tutorial is loaded and you do not want to miss any part of this lovely tutorial. If this sounds like what you'd be interested in, then you have to stick around till the end. When I say it's loaded, it is loaded because here I did contour guideline, I did full pattern drafting. You'll be seeing how I manipulated my darts and much more in making this free dress. It is very huge, I can assure you. So let's get right into this video. So to make this, I started with a plain pattern paper, just as you can see, and I had to go ahead and draw my starting point. Nothing serious on this line, just a starting point. So after drawing this line, I had to go ahead and draw the shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I ruled my vertical line. And then the next is the basic neckline, which is 3 by 3, but if your client is on the big side, please use 3.5 by 3.5. So that is what I drew there, and I had to go ahead and take some levels on this bust, on this pattern. So I took the bust point, okay, and the half length, the front half length. I took that measurement again, bust point and front half length, which is the waistline. So I had to rule horizontal lines across these two levels, okay. So right here is the bust and here is the waist. So right here I had to go ahead and measure the bust. Yes, bust measurement divided by 4, and this is the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Go ahead and mark that, and draw. I had to connect a vertical line like this. You can see me do, and after this is what I go ahead. I connected this to the waistline. I had to mark the bust here, bust measurement divided by 4, and extend that line properly. So I sloped the shoulder by 1 inch and connected to the neckline, just as you can see me do. And the next is to mark 5 inches from here, going by 3/4, and use that to draw our armhole measurement. That is armhole measurement divided by 2. Yes, so you go ahead and draw out your armhole. So right here I want to show you how to take your armhole measurement, because this is very important. From time to time I show it in my tutorial so that you see exactly how this is done. Now this is how to take your armhole measurement. Take it firm and add 2 inches to whatever measurement you got. Yes, so after that, the next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to mark the hip level. Yes, so I'll go ahead and take the hip measurement divided by 4, and that is what I marked there. I had to connect this to the waistline, so I extended this to the hem. So more like I want to use the length of this paper to do the length of my gown, the gown that I'm drafting. So after this, the next thing I did was to come to the neckline and drop it by just 3/4 or 1 inch or 1.5. Just feel free to do you. So after doing that, I had to connect it to the armhole, just as you can see me do, and we are almost done with this pattern. So easy breezy, right? So go ahead and take your level on that neckline drop and connect to the armhole, just as you saw in this video. So right here is the bust point, and I had to take the side bust that, which is the difference between the front half length and the back half length. Yes, so that is what I just do, and this is what I have. Now the next thing is to take the tightening here, because if I do not take it, it's going to affect the armhole for this front. Now look closely to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and mark the midpoint of this armhole. So if your armhole measurement here is 10, you know this is a half of armhole measurement, go ahead and mark 5, and then you can use it, or you just go ahead and take tightening, just as I did. I marked a point on this line and took 3/4 inch tightening. So what I removed from this part is 3/4 inch, but if you extended it to the armhole, you're going to take 1 inch. So you can choose the one you want, right? So after this, I'm going to cut out this pattern, just as you can see, and you'll see exactly what I'm doing. If you want, you can meet the shaping at the waistline and take this thing straight. That is what I'm trying to explain here. but I'm going to cut it out like this and explain further as I cut the final paper pattern, right? So what I did here is just to go ahead and extend this line to the hemline because we will be needing it as we close up the contouring of the armhole and of course the side bust dart. So watch closely to see what I'm going to do. I'll open up the side bust dart like this and then close it up like this. So go ahead and use your masking tape and tape it down. Now you can see that this has transferred the dart to the slash line, so you can see the spread. So this spread will make the flay to even be more. Yes, so the next thing is to go ahead and close up the one by the armhole side. So I'll go ahead and close up what we have around the armhole before I fold it in like this to cut my back pattern. So before I cut my back pattern, I'll open up this contouring of the armhole, right? So, and I'm going to close it up. Normally you don't need this contouring for the back area if it's only for the front, but because of how the design of this cloth is, the back in fact is backless, right? You're going to see how I did this to use the same pattern for the back as well. So this is me bringing out a fresh pattern, and I had to put it on fold because I want to cut the back pattern before I progress with the front pattern. Now watch closely to see what I did. From that fold line, I had to go in by about 1 inch, 1.25 inches. Now I'll tell you why. Because the back does not need the tightening I did on the armhole, this is going to take care of that. That is one. And then another reason is this is a backless dress, and if you watch the back has a little bit of very light gather. Yes, it has elastic on this part, this upper part, and this extra that I added is going to take care of all of that. Okay, it's going to take care of the tightening I took for the front part and also take care of the little gather that is at the back. So after doing this, I'm going to patch up my paper just as you can see me do, so that I will cut out this once. Okay, this is exactly what you're going to do on your fabric. The only difference is that I did not put seam allowance on this. Every other thing is the same. I did not just add seam allowance on this paper pattern. So when you're cutting on your fabric, this final pattern, ensure to put your seam allowances, because exactly what I'm doing here is what you're going to do on your fabric. Even this joining, this paper I'm joining, that is how you're going to join your fabric to get exactly what you're doing. So I had to cut this out and go ahead and cut out this place. So that will be all for our back pattern. Once I cut it out, then we will progress to the front. Now watch the waistline. I came out there by a 1/4 inch more. Yes, you can see the waistline there. I came out a little bit by the side there, a little by the side there by 1/4 inch. So after doing this, you can see what we have. So this is the back pattern, and that side that is closer to me will have elastic. Yes, this part will have elastic on it before we join it to the front pattern. I hope this makes sense. So I'll go ahead and cut out the front pattern. Just as you can see, I will release this upper part that is angular in shape and then go ahead and cut. Please note that you can add extra slash lines to this pattern to spread more if you want your flay to be bigger than this, but trust me, this size of flay is perfect and is going to give you what we have in the picture. But if for any reason you feel it's small, feel free to do you. Okay, so this is how I placed the pattern. I had to place it like this because it's better for me to join the upper. It's easier to join the upper part than joining this lower part more. So that is why I had to push it up when I saw that the length of this paper is not enough to take care of the front cutting. So you can see what I'm doing. Aside what I am saying, pay close attention and you will understand everything I am doing in this video. So I had to, through this hem part, you can see how I made a sort of arc to connect the two parts on the hemline, and I had to cut out like this. So this is what I have, and I'm going to patch up a little bit of that side so that it will be enough. Please note that this is the same thing you're going to do on fabric. Yes, this fabric, you can place it on fold as I did, or you can place it on bias grain line, that is on triangle. It will give different flow, but I will advise you to use cross grain or straight grain. But even if you want to use bias grain, that is completely fine as well. Okay, so go ahead and place it on your fabric and cut out, just as you can see me do. Join where you should join and cut out. Nobody will notice it, trust me. So after cutting it out, this is what I have to go ahead and remove the pattern and leave only what is the final, product. So what I did here is just to go ahead and join the upper part so that I can complete the cutting. That is why I did not unpin the old pattern, right, the first pattern I made. So I'll just go ahead and put paper this part of this pattern and then complete the upper parts of this pattern. So this is exactly what you're going to do if you want to get exactly this, and trust me, it will come out perfect. So I had to go ahead and quickly put my masking tape this part. Yes, put it this part up. Of course, if it's a fabric, it would have been enough. We won't need to join this because fabric is way longer than the paper. Just add your seam allowances and you're good to go. So I had to pin back this part so that I can cut out this angular part. So yes, this is what we have. I am done with the pattern making at this stage, and you can see the result of the pattern. So this is the front part, and you can see how perfect it is. And the first one I cut is the back part. So after doing all of this, I'm going to go ahead and add strips. But please, if you do not want, if you want gather around that armhole area, leave off your darts. That means you won't do tightening, sorry, you won't do, leave off the tightening, the armhole tightening that I did earlier. So that tightening will form slight gather along that armhole, and that means you are going to take in the tightening as a gather. But if you don't want any form of gather along this part I'm pointing now, go ahead and use your bias. So what I'm shedding now represents my bias. So this is how you're going to place your bias and turn it, use it and turn this part of the front, okay, so that the extension of it around that neckline is going to form the halter neckline that will be tied at the back. Yes, so once you place and turn it with your bias like this, you just have to put elastic at the back just as I illustrated, and you're as good as done. Just stitch the sides, add your pockets if you need to, and that is all. Yes, so this dress is so easy to make, and trust me, if you use this method that I used, not missing any single thing, you're going to get a very perfect result. I advise that you try it out and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for always stopping by to watch my videos. Okay, I do not take any of that for granted. So you can see how I joined this. You can see the extra coming out for the side. Yes, that is the extra I put so that it will form a gather at the back like this. Yes, so that when you put your elastic, it's going to form a gather at the back. So that is the essence. So this is the back pattern which will be gathered, and this is the front pattern with the halter neckline. Are you going to try this out? Please try it and let me know what you got. Do well to like, comment, share, and of course subscribe and turn on your notification bell to be the first to know each time I upload my lovely videos. You will not regret it. There is always something new to learn from each and every of my tutorials. Join the family and yes, enjoy all of the tutorials that is being posted on this platform. Thanks guys for watching, and thanks for always stopping by to watch my videos. I love you all, and of course I will see you in my next video. Bye.